Here I have two of the most popular heavy-duty trucks right now, and it's all about single rear wheel versus dually. On this side I have our 2020 Ford F-250 project truck that we recently purchased, the Super Tremor, and on this side is a brand new 2020 Ram heavy-duty dually, and there is $30,000 of difference. $55,000 sticker price versus $85,000 sticker price. In this video, I'm gonna give you all the specs, all the numbers, and show you what capability you gain for $30,000, but also there's something you lose. Before you write down all of your comments down below, Andre, how come you're comparing an F-250 gas versus a diesel dually? What's going on? Why Ford versus Ram? Well, this particular Ford F-250 is an XLT, which is one of the more popular Ford trim levels. It's XLT and the Lariat trims that comprise the volume of the Super Duty trucks they sell, which is why I chose it. And the reason why I brought this $85,000 Laramie Ram dually truck for this comparison is because a luxurious, expensive truck like this is becoming a lot more popular. Those people who have very expensive toys, trailers, large campers, or a race car hauler choose these trucks not only to be comfortable and confident, but also have the luxury and be able to tow their very expensive boats or trailers along with them. I'm doing this video because right here at TFL Truck we get this question from you guys almost every day. I have a 12,000 pound fifth wheel camping trailer or maybe a 15,000 pound trailer. Which heavy duty truck should I buy? A single rear wheel, maybe a 3/4 ton versus a dually? And this is exactly why I want to discuss powertrains. Under the hood of this F-250 is a brand new 7.3 liter Godzilla V8 engine with a power rating of 430 horsepower and 475 pound-feet of torque, and there is a brand new 10-speed heavy-duty automatic backing this engine up, and it's a $2,000 option on top of the base 6.2 liter gas V8, and price has a lot to do with the choice of truck that you guys are buying. And this truck has really good payload because it's a gas engine and not a heavy diesel. Let me show you. Of course you can get a diesel engine in a truck like this, the F-250, but getting a gas engine not only saves you money up front versus a diesel, about $8,000, but it also gives you a little bit more payload because the gas powertrain weighs less than the big diesel. In this case, it's listed at 3,078 pounds for cargo capacity on this truck. And this payload is good enough to put people and cargo and also trailer behind this truck. Now let's look under the hood of this Cummins powered Ram dually. It's an updated 6.7 liter straight six with a power rating of 400 horsepower and 1,000 pound-feet of torque. It's a high output engine and it's backed up by a really heavy-duty 6-speed Aisin automatic transmission, the same transmission that's been here for several years. And one of the things that you get for an additional cost, an additional torque of a diesel, is fuel efficiency. Nathan and I, almost a year ago, drove a truck very similar to this one from Las Vegas to Denver, and here's what we got, the MPG. We got a big boy truck, and this is a cross-country road trip MPG loop.
That's right, we're going from Las Vegas to Boulder, Colorado.
Yes, and this is a 2019 Ram 3500 high output, 1,000 pound-feet of torque.
There we go, we're done.
So 351.7 miles divide by 23.176 equals 15.2. Yep, we got 15 miles per gallon in a truck that weighs about 9,000 pounds and has a lot of tires on the ground with those duals. I did a very similar trip from Flagstaff, Arizona to Denver in an F-250 with a 7.3 liter gas V8 and got about 14.5 mpg. So actually, as far as gas versus diesel on a long trip empty, these two trucks get about the same efficiency. The brand new F-250 with a 7.3 and a 430 rear end, and I'm on an approximately 800-mile road trip from Flagstaff, Arizona back to Denver. All right, I did it. Made it back to home, to Colorado. Let's get the second fill up and get all the results done right now. All right, so 802 miles divided by 54.986, 14.58, rounding 14.6. The big chunk of that $30,000 difference between these two trucks is the diesel engine. It's approximately $11,000 extra if you had just a regular Hemi under the hood versus this high output diesel, but you're getting lots of torque, fuel efficiency like I just showed you. Well, let's look at the back and see what the real payload and towing numbers are. Another reason I'm doing this video is because I wanted to show you real world payload and towing numbers on all of these heavy duty trucks. You may have seen commercials out there that claim 37,000 pounds of towing or 7,800 pounds of payload. Well, in the real world with a crew cab truck, 4-wheel drive like this Ram, the payload number is 5,071 pounds. Why? It's because you're adding all the luxury features and capability and everything else to this truck, and it takes away from the payload because you still have that gross vehicle weight limit at 14,000 pounds. And let's look at the rear suspension and take a look at the towing. As far as heavy-duty truck frames are concerned, they're all big, beefy, and fully boxed steel. But this is where you're spending your money on a dually truck. Not only are you getting, obviously, dual wheels on both sides, but you're also getting heavier springs, and in this case of this Ram 3500, you're also getting air helpers in the rear, and what that does for you, it can level the truck out no matter what the load you put on it. If you're at maximum payload, the truck can still remain level and provide you the best possible handling down the road. The F-250 truck still has that really heavy-duty frame as the backbone, but it has a much softer suspension in the back. And soft is a relative term, still 3,000 pound capacity on this particular truck. But if you look at the spring stacks, you can actually see 3 leaves here versus 4 leaves on the dually. There are no air helpers here, so you will get squat when you put maximum load on this truck, as we've showed in previous videos towing heavy trailers. But there is one thing you're gaining, one huge advantage. Actually, 2 huge advantages. I need to take this truck on a ride and show you how smooth it is actually. Alright, getting on a rough dirt country road in the F-250, I just wanted to show you a little bit about how the suspension works and how it drives. Will you choose a 3/4 ton truck for driving comfort? No. If you're looking for driving comfort, get a mid-size truck or a half-ton full size. But as far as heavy-duty trucks are concerned, this 2020 F-250, in my opinion, is one of the more smoother riding trucks when empty. And here I am on a kind of a washboard dirt road covered in ice and snow. And if you didn't tell me I was in a Super Duty heavy truck, I might just think I was driving in an F-150. It's fairly close in how it behaves, although you do have heavy duty axles, solid axles, front and rear. This XLT right here has about $8,000 worth of options, $2,000 for the 7.3 gas V8 with a 10-speed, and additional $6,000 of power equipment such as the mirrors. We have the bigger screens, blind spot monitoring, FX4 package for off-roading, a little bit more off-road protection. But once again, I'm running over this washboard. It's just nice and easy going. Alright, I'm gonna throw this dually into four-wheel drive as well, just like I did in the F-250. It's quite icy over here. And this truck weighs 2,000 pounds more. About 9,000 pounds of curb weight right here versus 7,000 pounds in the Ford. Let's see how it goes empty, without much weight additionally in this truck. Ooh, I'm a little stuck. Oh, there it goes. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, sorry. So I had a few people with me last week just driving this truck on the highway, and they were begging for mercy. Some of the expansion joints we were running over on the highway, it was hard hitting. What's happening is the suspension is not fully compressed. I hope you could see it on camera here today. And it's just riding rough. There's no ifs or buts. Manufacturers like Ram and others have improved these rides drastically over the decades and the years. And these cabs are so quiet, both in the Ford, Ram, and GM trucks. We've shown you some of those tests. Really nice, quiet interiors, very luxurious. And the other thing that's happening with the dually is it's a wide truck, so you have to be mindful if you're going through town. If you do want to go to a drive-through or something to get some food or parking at Walmart, you got to be mindful. You have a lot more width. It's 8 feet wide, and you got to give yourself a wider turning radius because it's a long wheelbase. You have to take all those things into consideration. When you pay more, you do get more. A dampened tailgate on this Laramie Ram. This is the business end of a dually truck. And you're getting a couple more things for the extra money with this 1 ton. First of all, you're getting a longer bed, longer wheelbase. Longer wheelbase is good for stability, for towing a heavy trailer. And if you go online and put in your VIN number on your Ram truck, they'll give you a very specific tow rating for your specific truck. I just did that, and this truck is listed as just a hair over 34,000 pounds. And this is with all the options. This is a Laramie. Really well equipped, so that's very impressive. And of course I have a 3-inch gooseneck ball because we're using this truck to tow our really heavy trailer for our iGauntlet and the Gold Hitch competition. And this is what you want. When your trailer weighs that much and your truck only weighs about 9,000 pounds by itself, you want the long wheelbase, you want the wide wheels, wide axle for that stability, not to let the wind toss you around and actually get your load safely down the highway. This truck has every other feasible feature on it, like cruise control, adaptive cruise, lane keep assist, etc., blind spot monitoring. This truck technically starts without the dually rear wheels with a gas engine with a Hemi at around $54,000. So we're talking about $31,000 of options, and this is basically four-wheel drive, dually rear wheels. It has the gigantic screen, obviously, luxury package. Over $11,000 for the diesel Cummins with the Ace transmission combo. Then you have the night package that this truck has. It just has so much going on here. Yeah, no tailgate dampening on the XLT model. You can get a dampened tailgate if you option up for a higher trim like a Lariat or something above it. Let's talk about towing capacity of this particular truck. This has a 355 rear axle ratio. As such, if you go once again online and look at the towing guide from Ford, max tow rating is 14,700 pounds. Does that mean you could haul a fifth wheel camper that weighs that much? Well, technically yes, but you still have to consider how much squat you're gonna get and a gigantic camper tossing this truck around. You can get also a 430 rear axle in this truck for 18,000 plus rating, but once again, that's about half of the capability for towing of that dually. So if you're towing cross country, if you tow a lot, you gotta choose a dually. If you're towing shorter distances, maybe not as often, this heavy duty truck, especially with the ride it gives you, is perhaps the better choice. Are the crew cabs any different? Well, not really. The 2020 Ram still uses the previous cab configuration, the crew cab from previous generation heavy duty truck. But I'm over 6'2", just a little bit, and I have plenty of legroom and really good headroom, so I still feel comfortable in this older style crew cab. This is an XLT, so you're getting a lot of cloth materials and kind of harder plastics, but believe it or not, this Super Duty F-250 shares its cab with an F-150 truck, and it's been redesigned. It's all aluminum, and it's longer than ever. I'm just over 6'2". I have gigantic room, gigantic legroom, and good headroom. So as far as crew cabs are concerned, the Ford wins this battle just by a little bit versus the Ram heavy duty. When you talk about heavy duty trucks and towing heavy weights, visibility is very important, but I've been thinking about this for last few years, and I've decided that I like this type of mirror better instead of the one that flips up and down like this on the Ram. But let me demonstrate both. Extending these Ram mirrors is a manual process, I already showed you that, but you could fold them using power. Boom, and you can obviously fold and open it. But new for 2019 and 2020 models, you can control both the upper glass and the lower convex glass electrically. So that's really neat. That's to switch to the lower mirror. Click it again and control the upper. The reason why I choose the Ford towing mirror is because it offers just a lot more glass surface. I can see a little bit more, including the lower section. It offers power extension, power folding, but you have to control the lower mirror manually. Not great, but what can we ask for? Let's review. With the dually truck, you're getting about double the payload capacity. You're getting more than double in some cases of maximum towing capacity. You're getting more stability with a dually truck as well. So you have to make a decision. Are you towing full time? Are you towing really heavy weights over 13 or 14,000 pounds? A dually truck might be for you, including the diesel you see here. And if you're not towing all the time and you're towing slightly lower weights, the single rear wheel offers more comfort in daily driving and also a little bit more maneuverability. And guys, go back to tfltruck.com for more news, views, and real-world truck reviews. You can see all of our fuel economy runs, our iGauntlet World's Toughest Towing Test, and of course off-road tests as well, right here on this channel.